NFC West. So follow me this way. We're gonna see if we can find a couple of fans. We are infiltrating enemy territory. The Cowboy fans are doing it right. We got the signage, we got the great food, we got the inflatables. Thoughts on today's game?
We're gonna beat the shit out of them.
Woo! You see this right here? How do you feel about today's game?
We better win, that's all I know.
How do you feel about Dak Prescott after last week's performance?
Dak Prescott has been very consistent with the division. He has took us back-to-back 12-5 seasons. You know what I mean? He has winning records above. You can say what you want about the past 7 years, but on our division, he has been owning it for years.
Are you a Dak rider or are you a Dak hater?
Before he broke his finger, I was a rider. Now, nah. They need to let him go now.
You know Dak Prescott's watching this right now, right? Actually follows the Can Fan podcast.
Look.
Go!
Let's go, baby! Cowboys Nation, son! Let's go! Cowboys Nation represents! Cowboys Nation represents! Let's go!
Crack 'em if you got 'em.
Crack 'em if you got 'em, son. All day, every day.
Crack 'em if you got 'em, Seattle.
Here we are at Lumen Field. And is that a Harry Potter reference? Maybe. I don't know. I've casted a lot of Lumen spells.
Lumen videos.
We want to see Deuce represent. We want to see him repeat. I want some repeats. And I don't need 3 beats if they repeat.
I don't need 3 beats.
I don't need
if
3
they
beats.
repeat.
If they repeat. Let's go.
You don't think we're gonna make the postseason?
Maybe wild card.
So this is
Maybe wild card.
This is where I'm like, I'm good for a good ribbing, but like to say we're not gonna make the postseason, now I can't even argue with you. Because you've oh god.
You know it too. You know it.
Who's your quarterback?
This is our year.
Look at those dudes. Look at those dudes. Look at those dudes. Look at those dudes. Let's go!
Let's go, Cowboys! Let's go, baby! Cowboys Nation showing up!
Most pristine athletes in modern history playing in the NFL. Even the offensive linemen are incredibly athletic. I mean, these guys are over 300 pounds, and you know they can
Not only the size, but the speed of the linemen. Are you kidding
fly
me?
on the field.
You're telling me a guy that's 330 pounds meant to block a guy that's 290 pounds is faster than me? A sporty 240?
High 240. High 240. High 240.
I could beat any one of those guys right now, and I've drank a 6-pack.
What? You're wearing Crocs!
My 40 time is better than any of them.
Erroneous! Erroneous!
Erroneous.
Erroneous on all accounts!
I've never been more sure of anything in my life.
How'd I do?
13-5. Final quarter. Here we go, baby! Sunday service coming to you. Cowboys can fan on Easter Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
What you gonna do with WayJ?
This is like the ultimate Sunday service.
Oh, Sunday service.
Until you said that, this is like the ultimate Sunday service because it is on Easter Sunday.
And it's an actual Sunday service. And you know what?
Wow. Interesting. Did we miss a mark not putting anything like with any type of crucifixion in our thumbnail?
I don't know. I think we.
I'm kidding.
I was just. I just groaned there because I just hit record right now. As that's the opening. The first thing that I hit record on for WayJ when he gets the audio stream. Now I got to read. I shouldn't even redo that. I should
All right, I'm cracking if you
You know
got
what,
him.
fuck it,
You bumbled your way through whatever you were trying to talk about.
Well,
Just crack him if you got him.
crackers, you got him.
AJ, what's going on? We know you probably ain't cracking him. It's only 6 a.m. over in Thailand. How you doing?
Get yourself a Chang, son.
Grab a Chang, son.
I would have grabbed a Chang, but I don't care about drinking 6 a.m. But
8 a.m. is a little bit more of your number, or what?
No, he was saying that he doesn't have anything against drinking at 6 a.m.
Oh.
I don't think there should be a time limit on what time you crack a drink, personally, especially if you're watching any type of sports entertainment. Bandwagon Boy, One and myself were just on Cowboys Chris's Conversations with Chris show for the last couple hours. So we've already had a couple crackums, to be honest.
Yep.
And now we're going to roll right into Cowboys Can Fan. If this is your first time here, you can find us all on every type of platform at Cowboys Can Fan. We're on everything, the audio, visual, Patreon. If you want to give us a little bit of a handout, we would take that. But we are everywhere, and we will be everywhere all the way up to this draft season. This is going to be a predominantly heavy draft episode because we're kind of in that first Sahara Desert part of the season. If you're not a draft fan, like that's essentially all of the football stuff right now.
I mean, you and Wayjay have been doing way more draft stuff than me. I've just kind of been piggybacking onto your guys' draft stuff, and the 2 shows a week is allowing me to get as much that I need. So,
well, that's good. That's what we do it. And we got chat. We want to shout out to you. But yeah, Wayjay and I, we both really enjoy the draft season. Like I call it the Sahara Desert. But AJ, how do you find this time of the season as far as entertainment or at least news cycle for football?
I think it's one of the most fun times because there's so many potential possibilities. Of course, most of this is just considering this free agency for the boys. It's really just the draft that's exciting. But I will say on Madden, this is what I played the game for. I played the game for the offseason, baby.
The funny thing is, I'm having draft nightmares. I dreamt about the draft last night. I dreamt that the Cowboys took USC's backup quarterback. That's just who got drafted in my dream. So this morning I woke up and I Googled to see if USC's backup quarterback was even eligible to get drafted. He's not. He's not able to. But it's like, it was just funny that my brain has all the power in the world to dream about anything I want. And I was pissed off in my dream that we took a backup quarterback at 24. I know. I need to do more.
it's like when you change like a diet to like really clean eating, and you dream about candy and like sugary foods. You're dreaming about taking a backup quarterback.
It was very, and you know what? To be honest, if the Cowboys, and we're going to talk a little bit of draft talk here before we hop into articles, but if the Cowboys did take a quarterback at 24, say it was like the quarterback out of Michigan, like JJ McCarthy, or if one of the top ones like fell to 24 and the Cowboys took him at 24, kind of like what they did with Jordan, or the Green Bay Packers did with Jordan Love a few years ago, I don't think I'd be mad about it, honestly. It would shift into my brain that they're in full rebuild mode, which is a thing that we already think. But would you guys be pissed if the Cowboys got a top 5 quarterback at 24, or at least like reached out and tried to get one?
I would it would kind of depend the name, but I guess any of the top 5s, why not, eh?
Because they might fall.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad. I think that obviously I'm in the camp of, I mean, Ultra's already in the chat talking about, as long as Dak's the Cowboys QB, the Dalai Lama can't save the Cowboys. Another one and done until change happens at QB. I'm not saying change happen immediately, but I like the idea of getting a quarterback and having him on the bench and learning the ropes and not putting pressure on these young quarterbacks. So if we took a quarterback first round and it was a solid person and the plan was to develop him and not have him start day one, like obviously the difference where if we draft a quarterback at 24, the amount of people that would be screaming for him to start over Dak Prescott this upcoming season would almost be worse than Trey Lance.
Yeah. I mean, but it's actually kind of funny. I had someone message me saying that, well, the only way to get a good quarterback is to have your team suck, and then you get one of the early round picks. And he had named some quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes, and I was thinking back to it. I was like, Patrick Mahomes. So I kind of dove into a little bit about the Patrick Mahomes draft pick. Patrick Mahomes was drafted at number 10 after the Kansas City Chiefs had back-to-back playoff appearances. They actually traded up into the first round to 10. Well, they still had Alex Smith as their starting quarterback to take Patrick Mahomes.
Interesting.
So I just have this here. I'll just read it to you guys. The Chiefs moved up to the 10th overall by sending their first-round pick that year, which was the 27th overall to Buffalo, along with the 2017 third-round pick, number 9 overall, and Casey's 2018 first-round pick. So I just found it kind of interesting because I had someone kind of beacon off saying that the only way to get a good quarterback or a top-tier quarterback like Patrick Mahomes is to have a shitty team. Like, you could actively trade up. So I just thought that, and Jordan Love, same thing. The Packers were good when they drafted Jordan Love. The guy also named Justin Herbert, who has done shit since he's been in the league. I think there's also different ways, and maybe the Jerry Jones all-in talk gets a little crazy come draft time. Like, we haven't really talked much about the Cowboys trading up as much as we have just the draft in general. But before we get into draft talk, guys, there's a little familiarity going around in the Cowboys news cycle about a little known running back named Ezekiel Elliott and a possible reunion to the Dallas Cowboys. Would you guys hate that? Like, what are you guys' thoughts? I know we had this song and dance last year, I think all the way up until almost a season, because Zeke stayed unsigned until the Patriots took him just before the regular season started. But what are your guys' thoughts about Ezekiel Elliott possibly coming back and playing for the Cowboys?
I like this. I like, though, that you pulled up his new vape advertisement.
His Vape 10?
I think that's his Vape 10 advertisement.
AJ should have a vape shirt with that on there. Cut off the Patriots shoulder caps there, just so it's Zeke fucking vaping it out.
I vape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. I mean, I would have been like, oh yeah, Zeke coming back, had I not seen what someone put the stats last year of TP20, Dowdle, and Zeke up line by line in terms of, like, you know, Zeke's that third down back, he's that goal line back, and it's like Tony Pollard did just as well, or if not better than Zeke on third downs and the goal line. And
yeah, but Tony Pollard's not here anymore.
And then Rico Dowdle did as well. So I don't know if we absolutely need Zeke to come back. It'd be interesting to see what happens in the draft. I mean, as a third running back option, sure, but as our number 2, I don't know.
Interesting.
If it doesn't change who you would draft, which I don't think that it would, and realistically, he'd have to come back for like the minimum, because we already got $6.5 million or something, or $6 million invested in him in dead cap, which there's no way to get that back. It just is what it is. So, you know, it would suck to like also now pay him another $4 million, and now he's the $10 million back. What the hell did we get rid of him for?
Yeah, it's like now he's one of the top paid running backs in the NFL, right? Realistically, if you pay Zeke 4, like AJ said, you're already paying him $6 million.
We did it on purpose.
Now you're essentially paying the guy $10 million. That, your way of saying that just alone makes me not want them to bring him back, because even if they bring him back for $2 million, he's actually an $8 million running back, which is what Derrick Henry just signed for per year.
Yeah.
So I almost think, just for my mental capacity, unless he comes back and gets 12 touchdowns for the Cowboys again, like something like that, as long as he has double-digit touchdowns, I'd essentially be okay with it. But the way the Cowboys are going here, it's showing that they're doing anything other than wanting to bring in older guys, and it would have to be for like the league veteran minimum for it to even work out in my mind.
Ultra saying that if they are bringing back Zeke, there are locker room issues. He was loved in the locker room. I mean, we talked about that a lot on when there were rumor about him leaving. It's like, well, what does that do to the locker room? Because if he's a leader in the locker room with a lot of young guys, then you possibly consider keeping him. I wouldn't be looking at it too deep into that. Like, oh, they're bringing Zeke back to help the players' issues in the locker room with Micah and Dak. Like, I don't know if it would go that far.
You're going to bring a serial vapor back into your locker room?
How can you hey, Zeke, we're signing Zeke back, but he has to give up his vape addiction.
He just vapes too much. He's actually going to make the younger guys addicted to nicotine. So Jerry just doesn't want that unless Jerry's selling some sort of nicotine vape pen. I don't know. I think if he could it would have to be a very team-friendly deal for me to entertain the fact that the Cowboys would bring him back. They should have, in my mind, never even got rid of him last year. They should have just done what they could have. They should have just signed him to the equivalent of what the Patriots did, and he would have signed. He actually probably would have signed for a little bit less than what the Patriots paid for him. So I don't know. But AJ had a pretty good post on X earlier today. If you want to just get away from me there for a second, and I'll get over to it.
I'd always want to get away from
But he had a kind of, Alex went through and kind of gave us some look at what the Cowboys could do for the running back position prior to going into the draft. So AJ, if you want to just kind of start talking about that, and I'll bring up the post that I put on Instagram, the X post that you had.
Yeah. So I was just thinking about the potential combinations of backfield, and I really like some these thread posts that I see happening on X. And so I said, hey, let's throw our hat in the ring, gave it a shot. But basically, it's just showing the options. I mean, obviously, there's more than this. But these are kind of like the options that have been talked about, say, within the last week or so. So the first one is just who we have in our backfield right now is Rico Dowdle, Deuce Vaughn.
Oh shit!
me,
I don't.
I
Oh,
think-
my bad. Sorry, my bad. Okay, sorry. I cut you off.
No worries. Yeah, I just this I think is the probably worst combo. And I said the worst since 2015. Some people didn't agree with that, but I think like if you look, I'm not saying. If you look at it, I just think that you have to go back to 2015 to where there was like not the best combination. And the
So
Cowboys were
2015,
like
2015, they had Joseph Randall, and they also had Darren McFadden. And the reason people are saying that it wasn't the worst is because Darren McFadden still ran for 1,000 yards, but he ran behind 3 all-pro linemen. They had Travis Frederick still at center. They had Zach Martin at right guard and Tyron Smith at left tackle. And that's them 8 years younger than they are right now, right? Or even more than that,
Right.
9 years younger. So people, that doesn't make Darren McFadden and Joseph Randall your options going into the season any better than Dowdle and Vaughn just because of McFadden running for 1,000 yards. I honestly think Rico Dowdle could have ran for 1,000 yards, if not more, behind that exact same line. So that the 1,000 yards rushed that season in 2015 doesn't make it a better option or not being the worst option in the last 10 years prior to right now.
Yeah, well, either way, if you pick or choose, it's the worst or the second worst. But you have to go that far back, basically, to get to that point. So it's like 10 years.
Let's just say no one's excited to have option 1, Rico Dowdle and Deuce Vaughn. None of us want that.
No.
That is no bueno. None of us here want Rico Dowdle and Deuce Vaughn to be the starters going the 1-2 punch going into the 2024 season.
And I really don't see that happening. They'll at least add a 7th round running back at the very least. So,
or an undrafted free agent running back.
Yeah, could be. Backfield 2 is okay. Let's bring Zeke back. Do another kick at the can. Like we just talked about, it should be a friendly deal because of that $6 million at dead cap, and it leaves open for drafting that bell cow replacement, that true replacement that we're looking for in the 2nd or 3rd round, which is difficult because I'd rather them go 3rd round or later now with a running back, considering I just don't think that Jonathan Brooks, who we'd probably have to draft in the 2nd round. I just don't think that he's that far ahead of everyone else that you would really want to make that move.
He's not like
run on running.
He's not like a Jamar Gibbs or a Bijan Robinson of last year who both went in the top 15. Like he's close enough to those 3rd round. Talking about Brooks, he's close enough to those 3rd round running backs in say a Bucky Irvin or a Blake Corum or one of our favorite Trey Benson. There's just not a big enough gap in between those players to justify taking him at 56 is what you're kind of saying.
Yeah, exactly.
I got a question with this option. You have Zeke Elliott, Rico Dowdle, and then draft pick. So does that mean Deuce Vaughn snipped in this situation?
Maybe he's still like on special teams or something. Who knows? But I just don't see him cracking the starting lineup unless, barring an injury, knock on wood.
So maybe knocked down. Maybe he's still on the 53-man roster, but he ends up being healthy scratched, or they try to put him on the practice squad and he possibly gets picked up by another team, which would be interesting to see.
Our boy Rolando Rodriguez says Cowboys can fan Zeke, power back for 1 yard, Rico and Deuce, and a rookie draft pick. It will work. Cheers. Crack him if you got him. Go Cowboys.
Crack him if you got him. I just don't know if we have the talent or the room on the team to keep 4 running backs. That's kind of why I asked in this situation where AJ has Zeke, Dowdle, and draft pick, if there's even room on the team for a Deuce Vaughn, because you essentially have that return type guy with Turpin still. So you don't really have a niche for Deuce Vaughn in AJ's situation here, and it'll be interesting. That's essentially if they bring back Zeke Elliott. So that's option 2. Let's check out option 3 here.
Option 3 is basically the same as option 2, except for a substitute Delvin Cook for Zeke Elliott. This one is a little even further away from a possibility, I think, because Cooks is not going to give, or Delvin Cook is not going to give the Cowboys a team-friendly deal, or at least I don't think the deal would be as good, the contract would be as good as what they would be able to sign Zeke for. But I think, I've always liked Delvin Cook. I think he's on the wrong side of his career now. If he's got half of his career left at best, but he's definitely probably got a couple years. We didn't really do much last year to be excited about it, but hey, new environment, new team, it could be worthwhile.
New team.
Granted, he was on the Jets, who lost Aaron Rodgers, have one of the worst offensive lines. So, like you said, maybe a breath of fresh air. I want to just jump back quickly to option 1. This would also be Rico Dowdle, Deuce Vaughn plus draft pick, right?
Yes, but yes, exactly. But this is just the current situation.
Current situation.
We don't
okay.
know that. Yeah, we don't know that they are going. We all assume a running back's being drafted, but if they don't, then this is what we're going into.
Okay, I see. Because I honestly, looking at this option, Rico Dowdle as your 2, Deuce Vaughn as your 3rd down, kind of. Now, essentially, we were all talking how he's kind of he was like a poor man's Tony Pollard last year. Like if Tony Pollard got hurt, Deuce was the best guy that could come in and kind of fit that role. So as a 3rd down back, like Rico Dowdle as your kind of tough runner, Deuce Vaughn is maybe your, comes in for a handful of plays a game. And then one of those other running backs that we talked about in the draft, I don't hate that option as much as just seeing Dowdle and Vaughn. Like Dowdle and Vaughn, I look at that and I'm like, no, that's not happening. But if you put in a guy that's 6'2", like even a Braylon Allen later on in the 4th round, or a Trey Benson even Trey Benson, to me, we'll get into this, I think even in the 2nd round, which I don't think he's going to be available for the Cowboys at 87, that makes this option at 1 a little less mind-numbing, right? But I just wanted to get back to that.
That's at this point, I think, the most probable. But shoot, the door's open.
Door is open. Okay, and then you have your top RB picks here, AJ. This is you got some of the best ones that you've found, kind of, and in what round you think they're going to happen in.
Yeah, and look, I know there was some other names shared, and it's awesome. Sound off in the comments about who else could be there, but you only get a certain amount of characters, and I just wanted to spread it out for our options, right? So obviously, Jonathan Brooks, if you want him, Cowboys would have to take him R2 or in round 2. I think of course, he's the best in class. I just don't know if he's worth spending that round 2 pick on, especially because in round 3, unless there's a run on running backs, you have a good potential of getting Trey Benson. He's faster. He's the same height and weight. And, from what we've watched on him on his film, and just looking at his PFS stats, but we did check out Benson's film, and he looks like a good running back. He runs powerful. And then finally, Isaiah Davis probably can get him in the 6th or 7th, but again, if there's the run, you might have to move up to get him on 5th. But I'd be happy with this guy on any on any level. He's not really super fast, but he is a big, powerful runner, and so that he has all the potential there. And why not it? Why not with a 5th or 6th or 7th round draft pick?
Yeah, man. Like, we all know the Cowboys are going to have to take a running back at some point, even with showing these options that AJ put ahead of us. Even if they take a Dalvin Cook or they take an Ezekiel Elliott here in free agency, running back is still very actively sought after in my mind, the first 3 rounds. You're not going to draft a running back in the first. There's not very many compared to what we've seen, like generational talents like Bijan Robinson. Like, remember the hype last year with Bijan? Remember, like, if he was at whatever.
Yeah, I paid $75 in fantasy football for him.
Yeah, and he was good. If he was used the right way, he would even been better. But there's not that guy this year in that. And Jonathan Brooks possibly could have been that kind of hype of the first round if he wasn't injured for his last bit of last season. So that's the main question marks on Jonathan Brooks. So someone might take a swing and try to draft him in the 2nd round, and it could pay off tremendously, or it could hurt the team.
Well, Ultra saying Trey Benson is going to go in round 2. We'll go higher than Brooks because of that ACL injury like you were talking about.
That's funny. I was going to say that. My hot take or my unpopular opinion is I think Trey Benson gets drafted before Jonathan Brooks. I think Trey Benson will be the first running back off the board.
And then Ultra said earlier on that, he believes Brooks is a study who's just stuck behind Bijan.
Yeah,
those years.
And that's just, how crazy is that? Like, you have a chance of having last year's first running back taken, and then this year, possibly without injury, he's arguably is the first running back off the board. And that's not even talking about their Roshan. Why can't I think of his last name? The running back out of Texas last year. Yeah, Roshan Johnson. Like that. What are that Texas is becoming the running back of late, anyways. RBU. But another thing I wanted to look at, because we're basically talking this as a draft show, like we're kind of going to use today as the draft show, essentially, is I thought it'd be fun to go and look at a few other people's drafts, people that get paid to do this, and just see where the consensus is of other football minds in the space. Like, we kind of get set on our own ways, right? Like, I think our last 3 drafts, we've taken... Essentially, we've taken JPJ, which I do think is a home run pick. Like JPJ, the center out of Oregon, I think that's a home run pick, but it's just interesting to get other people's takes. And one of them is Eric Edholm, a guy that I think he did the power rankings all year last year. Yeah. But it's interesting to see because it's a player that we've talked about and we've actually taken at 24, and it's the Dallas Cowboys projected trade with the Los Angeles Rams. The Cowboys don't have a ton of extra picks laying around, but I could see them being aggressive with Thomas, surprisingly still on the board at this juncture. Dallas really needs to add a pass-catching threat and might have to trade up to ensure landing one like this LSU product. He's an explosive talent who can help shield CeeDee Lamb from seeing so many tricked-up coverages. What do you guys think about this? Having to trade up to get a player, and trade up to get a player who's not necessarily... a need, like a dire need.
It would depend what they traded to get him, and if it's a 2nd or 3rd, then I just don't think that's a very smart move. I like Brian Thomas Jr. and I would love for a night
for a night out of town with him.
Yeah, I'd go out with BTJ.
What do you think his favorite meal is? I'm gonna say he just goes out and orders a good meal of French fries. He likes French fries.
Brian Thomas Jr.
He's a French fry guy.
He asked the waiter, "Hey, what's your favorite?" And then the waiter suggests it, and he goes, I'm gonna get the
French fries.
Bolognese. Yeah, French fries.
I'm gonna go. What's your best thing
French
here?
French fries and chicken tendies.
What's your best thing here? Oh, it's got to be the salmon. The salmon's delicious here. I think I'm just gonna stick with the French fries. What I will do is I'll scroll down because I do think if I go to the Los Angeles Rams, it tells. Nope. It's kind of stupid that he does this projected trade, but then doesn't tell what.
Yeah, you can't. And he has Jackson Powers Johnson going 20, or is that just the draft that he did that it went 20 that way?
No, that's who he was. JPJ. So he's saying in his draft, the Cowboys specifically traded up to get Brian Thomas. Like they were like, okay, Thomas is still there. We're trading up, but to trade up even what is that 5 spots? You're giving up
Yeah.
a minimum a 3rd round pick.
Oh yeah, for
100%. So that
So
means
that means we don't have a 3rd or a 4th. It's like,
Yeah.
are we just gonna have a no second Dave for our show?
So what do you guys thinking about this though? No, second day is round 2 though. 2 and 3.
We're not gonna have sorry, we're not even
First
having a 3rd day.
Day 1, 1st round pick. Day 2, 2 and 3. Day 3, 4, 2, 7. So we'd still have all days. We would just have 2 boringer days.
Wow.
Yeah.
But so we'll say that the Cowboys are trading 87 and swapping picks. Is that worth it to get a wide receiver?
No.
No.
I mean, has this isn't like a this isn't like Marvin Harrison Jr. That might be worth it, just on name alone.
Although I have deep dove a little bit into BTJ, and let's just say I'm glad it's not BTK.
Like the fucking
No, but Brian Thomas Jr. is legit. But I'm in the band or the camp of the band camp of trading back to gain picks. At this point, the Cowboys have too many holes to be giving away a pick to get a position that isn't in dire need. That's where I kind of stand here.
Ultra saying next year's wide receiver class is not that talented. So possibly when you're looking at trying to take up, if they're looking at rounding out the team in drafting, because we know the Cowboys like to draft their players versus trading for their players, then possibly they will go high on a wide receiver. He's also saying that they love, I mean, he's probably hearing this from Fan 105.3 or whatever. Cowboys love Brian Thomas Jr.
No, I've heard that too. A lot of people are talking that Brian Thomas Jr. is huge on the list. And I'll say this, Cowboys Can Fan was early to that party. We were early to the BTJ sweepstakes. And at 24, I'm kind of leaning towards the fact that if they did take Brian Thomas at 24, I wouldn't be that upset about it. I think offensive line is the go-to, but I also believe in the fact that you could get 2 starting offensive line type talents in the 2nd and 3rd rounds in this draft. So if you stayed put,
that's if you didn't make the trade, I like that a lot better, because I do think that he can add something that we're missing on offense. But I couldn't. I mean, then we'd be left with the 2nd round pick to find a for sure starter rather than that 2nd and 3rd. I don't like it. I wouldn't want to make that trade.
Ultra keeps talking about
it's a Jerry Jones move. It's a Jerry Jones
It is.
move.
Ultra earlier on said that don't have a meltdown when the Cowboys draft Xavier Worthy at number 24.
The speedster, fastest player in combine history. Hey man, I'm not against taking a wide receiver at 24. I'm not. I'm really not, as long as you're planning on going offensive line in your next 2 picks.
I think Worthy, because of his record-setting combine speed, will go higher than what was projected, because he was not projected to go that high. Definitely not at 24.
I don't think he'll go at 24.
But here's the thing, you got, like, unless you didn't know Xavier Worthy was fast and then you saw this, or like you didn't think he was fast and then you saw this, it's like it shouldn't really be adding anything to a scout's report. They already seen him on the field. They know that he's speedy. And now that he goes out and gets a record-setting 40, which is great, like, don't get me wrong, but like, is that worth, like, oh, he's like now we jump him up 5 or 6 picks, or like jump him up around because of that? I'm sure a team will. I just don't think it's like smart, unless, of course, like I said, you were surprised that, wow, the kid's got this speed and he's got all these other natural talents. Okay, that makes sense. But I think everyone always knew he was fast.
Yeah, and he's a fringe first round, early 2nd round type guy. Worthy is, but again, I don't think that should, like AJ said, should change your mind that much. The next article that we got, before I jump into, if you want to hit some chat up.
So Ultra Cowboy says, remember, McCarthy O-line in Green Bay only had 1 first-round O-line drafted. He develops O-line. So we're saying about instead of trading back and getting more players, because he's saying more first-round O-line picks. Rolando Rodriguez says,
why don't you switch the camera to yourself?
Crazy. Rolando Rodriguez says, Cowboys Can Fan, best player available. Don't want to see the draft. and the Cowboys trade back. Crack 'em if you got them.
Hey, good call on that
Crack
note.
that shit, baby.
Crack me if you got him, son.
Mitchell
got
will
'em.
go before Worthy, says Travis O'Shea. And then Worthy Films shows his combine speed, says Ultra Cowboy.
Exactly. So
And then, hey, Kilo C's in the house saying, crack 'em, baby.
what up, Kilo? So this next this next article that I have up is very similar, and it's kind of funny. So San Francisco, you see San Francisco sitting here at 24, and the San Francisco 49ers draft Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver out of LSU.
So user Ian Cummings trade. San Francisco sends picks number 31, 124, and 176 in the 2024 draft, as well as a second round pick in 2025 in exchange for Dallas's number 24 pick and 216.
So just stop at that.
Okay.
Does that sound like something you're fucking with right there?
I don't mind it.
Because right now, Cowboys are getting their Trey Lance pick back. So for
Yep.
San Fran, it was essentially a freebie. Cowboys drop back 7 picks and gain a 176. So they even get up a few spots in the later days. But we give up we give up 7 spots and I believe that's one of our 5th round their compensatory pick. Like, I like
Let me
that.
get the second, and that second round in 2025.
I like this.
Obviously,
I like this trade way better than the first scenario.
Well, who the fuck are they? Who are they picking? Oh,
Brian Thomas Jr.
Oh, sorry.
Remember? You just read that 5 seconds ago?
Totally. Hey,
Maybe you just needed Ultra to read it to you.
hey, totally. Fuck.
So that's why.
Who do we get then?
Well, okay, we'll get to that. But this is why I thought
relax, Alex.
This is why I thought it was interesting, because it has both players. Both times we traded up to get BTJ at 19, right? But this time, instead of the Cowboys taking BTJ at 24, the Niners pull the pin, and I would say give us a ton of picks to get him. So we'll scroll down to what the Cowboys get out of that situation. 31, Dallas Cowboys draft Johnny Newton, defensive tackle, Illinois.
Haven't looked at him.
Dallas acquired picks number 31, 124, and 176 in the 2024 draft, as well as a second-round pick in 2025 from Dallas in exchange for picks 24 and 216. I don't like the player that the Cowboys end up taking with those picks.
Well, this is a theoretical Cowboys team picking them.
Yeah, well, let's see. Actually, let's take this step let's take this one step forward and see who went ahead. So the Niners took Brian Thomas Jr., then Tyler Guyton, offensive tackle, gone. Then the Philadelphia's take the only white cornerback in the first round in forever or ever, Cooper DeJean. Arizona Cardinals take Jordan Morgan, who was another tackle that the Cowboys have had their eyes on. Buffalo Bills take another very good wide receiver, Keon Coleman from Florida State. Detroit Lions, Kool-Aid McKinstry. Baltimore, Adonai Mitchell. And then the Dallas Cowboys with Johnny Newton. So we haven't even really looked at Johnny Newton, to be honest. But what are your thoughts about taking all those picks and then taking a defensive tackle?
Well, this is the smartest. This is a smarter way to go about it when you consider needs. But I don't know, with how offensively forgiving or the NFL pushing offense, maybe that wide receiver getting someone out there and just outscoring teams, if he's that type of dude, maybe that does make more sense than this. But I think, like, just to fill that defensive tackle need, yeah, that's good. We ended up with a defensive tackle, and we picked up a couple picks to, like, get that running back or wide receiver still.
So this guy did a 7-round mock draft. Do we just want to, for shits and gigs, just fly through it and see who the Cowboys took at their gain picks?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So remember, we have runs 176 down. Just so I remember.
176. What's the other one?
We got
124.
124. So our next picks are going to be 56, 87, 124,
176.
176.
Okay.
Okay, so let's scroll down to, and I'm not going to look at, and Zach Fraser was still on the board there too, but we're going to speed draft this down to 56 here, just to see the any thoughts, guys, before I get to it?
Ooh, no.
Too slow. Dallas Cowboys, another guy we have not talked about.
Max Melton from
Max
Rutgers.
Melton, from cornerback from Rutgers. Write these names down. So we took, can you write that down? Max Melton, a dude that we haven't taken.
Here, let me do AJ's job right now. One sec.
Way, Jay. Yeah. So Max Melton, don't like
Get
it.
the sheet out. Get the sheet out.
So we went defensive tackle and then cornerback. Not crazy about that, guys, to be honest. Round 3 better be...
Max Melton, though, he does sound like a Marvel.
Yeah,
it's a great name.
It said there that the Green Bay absolutely stole the pick from the Cowboys in this draft. So I was going to ask you to see who did Green Bay steal. Oh, you missed it. Braylon Allen. Okay, we like that.
So running back Braylon Allen at 87, back up after letting Tony Pollard go in free agency and seeing 3 running backs atop the board. We'll get the choice of who fits in well here, and the slight edge goes to Braylon Allen. Getting a 20-year-old kid that's checking in at 6'2" and 235 pounds is too good of a prospect to pass up. I don't hate that pick there, guys. I think you should have accompanied that with some sort of offensive line help in the first 2.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So let's see what we get at 124.
But you wouldn't be mad at Braylon Allen.
Braylon Allen in the 3rd round, I wouldn't be upset with. No, I wouldn't be. Especially, I don't know who else had went, but
125, the Dallas Cowboys.
Center, Bo Limmer, the guy.
125. So what happened there? There was we moved back?
Dallas traded picks number 175 and 244, as well as 5th round pick in 2025 to Tampa in exchange for pick number 125. Oh, so we must have traded again somewhere.
I think it was just this pick right here. Because this is the next one.
No, because it says at 124, Pittsburgh acquired number 124 and a 3rd round pick in 2025 from Dallas in exchange for pick 98. Back up to 98 we go.
Jeez, this is a choose your own adventure.
This is, yeah. Let's see, 98. Who'd we get? Blake Fisher. Don't hate it.
There we go. There's our OT.
There's our offensive tackle help. Yeah, this is if this is how active the Cowboys are going to be during the draft extravaganza on Cowboys Can Fans is going to be an exciting time. So Blake Fisher, then we took, who was it at 120? We took Braylon. Or at 125, we took, Bo Limmer, center. So our last 2 picks now, you got Bo Limmer, who we haven't looked at because in most of our drafts, we've taken center way earlier than that.
Yeah.
And then you took an offensive tackle, Blake Fisher, with the other picks. So now you've upgraded in your last 3 picks, running back and offensive line. So don't hate it.
Kilos, he says statin and vaping and statin the AJ way.
That is it. It is. So then 174, we'll just do 174 will be our last one we look at here. And we traded again. So Tampa receives pick 174 and 244 as well as a 5th round pick in 2025 from Dallas in exchange for 125. Okay. So that was to get that other one. Interesting. That was a wild ride.
It's a wild ride.
It makes our drafts when we trade once seem boring.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because there are rumors out there that Jerry Jones is bringing in the coach from Game Day, the movie, to help with this draft. So
I'm surprised hasn't had Kevin. I'm surprised Kevin Costner hasn't been up in the screen.
You know
at
what?
Any point.
Until we mention
Start of April. So it's today's last day of March.
Yeah.
So
and then on draft eve, Alex, you got to make sure you come over because we're going to be watching draft day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
maybe we do it the second or third night after you get back to give it a couple days up to the draft that we do the draft day viewing.
Anyways,
well, I'm back 2 days before the draft, so we have to do it either. Okay. But I'll be back around 5 p.m. in Chilliwack, so it could either be that night or it could be
the day you get back. We're watching draft day.
Okay.
First thing he does before he goes and see his mom or anyone else, he comes and watches draft day.
Yeah.
So before we jump into, because we are going to do a 7-round mock draft, boys,
Bocce's in the house.
Bocce, what up, son?
Bocce's in the house.
I'm going to say this too. I haven't said it. I'm going to pimp us out a little bit. There's some people up in the chat right now. If you haven't been in here before, we appreciate you being in here. Please drop a like. It helps send this to the algorithm and get more like-minded Cowboys individuals who love to crack them if they got them, son.
Well, And Travis O'Shea, he saw one of our shorts a couple weeks ago, and or one of our draft videos, and he's been on every single week. He just said Newton, Allen, and Fisher would be awesome! Exclamation marks.
Hey, we'll take it. We'll take it. Newton sound.
That draft. Sorry, that draft that we just looked at started out a little questionable, but after you look at the sum of all parts, I don't mind any of those moves that they made, and I like that. Good draft.
What we've always said as a crew here, as a CanFan crew, we idgaff who you take first round, as long as they
fucking start.
They just have to start. That's it. And I'm going to say that with second and third round this year.
Yep. First, second, and third rounders, you better fucking be starting.
I don't care who you take. I don't care who the Cowboys take. They just better be starting day one.
Yeah, drafting for next season is unacceptable with the first, third round.
I don't want to hear that shit. I'd like hearing the Mozzie Smith was a pick for this year, like for 2024, when the team was on the verge of being a Super Bowl contender. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear day one. I don't care if it's at 24 or pick one.
It's that
it better be a starter.
It's that when you have kids and you're trying to teach them how to swim, put them in the shallow end and like kind of slowly get them to swimming, or you take them to the deep end,
toss them in,
push them or toss them, and say you're just going to learn how to swim.
Power bomb them in.
First, second,
choke slam.
RKO them, fucking Randy Orton style.
This is a nice little pause in football discussion. If you guys had to do a finisher to one of Ad's kids into a pool, like a wrestling finisher, what would be your finisher?
Can I answer? With
yeah,
my
of course,
kids?
because
Okay.
you've probably done it. You've probably done the wrestling move into the pool.
Yeah, it would for sure be. I would definitely. I mean, I have powerbomb. I mean,
Powerbomb's a solid one.
Powerbomb or Razor's
Did you just
Edge?
that was gonna be mine. Razor's Edge.
Oh, Razor's Edge.
Razor's Edge.
I
Is
do
a
a
good
choke
one.
slam.
Choke slam's good.
Choke slam.
I just choke slam Riker in the room in there. He has his stuff set up and he was doing wrestling moves. So I walked in there just between podcasts before we came back live, and I choke slammed him onto his thing.
If you're really trying to bring the heat though, like just a solid DDT.
Yeah.
Into the shallow end.
Or a fucking super kick, a sweet chin music.
Yeah, super kick.
What finishing move we do? Oh, sweet
super
chin,
kick. Super kick.
Yeah, sweet chin music right to their face.
Okay, we got a Blogging the Boys article up here by it's by Dan Rogers, and it's 3 Easter eggs the Cowboys could find waiting for them in the upcoming NFL draft. And I just picked this up and because I wanted to look through it and see if it's kind of on par with what we've been talking about, or if it's a player that's going to bring new perspective into our minds when we are doing our 7-round mock draft here in a few minutes. So here we go.
Here we
Here we go. So, an all-pro tackle in the first round. And we've been hearing about this guy since day one, since our first guest on the 7-round mock draft. Tackle Jordan Morgan from Arizona. J Tuck was heavily on this guy's trail. Like, he said this is the one dude at tackle in the later rounds that could start from day one. So, don't hate it.
J Tuck was hound dogging his trail.
Yeah,
sniffing him out.
He sniffed it out, sniffed his snail trail out.
Even with those bionic knees.
And then, so round 2, another guy that we've been... So, I mean, could we work for Blogging the Boys? Probably. One of the top collegiate linebackers in round 2, a big fan favorite, Edgerrin Cooper.
Yeah, we love Coops.
Who I don't think is going to be there at 56. I honestly don't. We were chatting in the DMs earlier, even today, and today or yesterday, if Edgerrin Cooper or Peyton Wilson somehow fall to 56, I think that automatically becomes your pick. If either of those two guys are there, that in my mind has to be your pick. I don't think either of them are going to be there though.
No fucking way they will.
But it's interesting. I'm glad that there's other people that are kind of on our.
Well, Jalen Wright right there.
And a 4-year starter running back in round 3, Jalen Wright, Tennessee. I honestly think we may have almost taken this draft before.
I think are they
Josh Morgan?
Are they watching us? Are they watching our draft to make an article?
Josh Morgan, Edgerrin Cooper, and Jalen Wright. I know we've taken those guys in that order before.
Yeah, you and every other fucking Cowboy fan.
Well, no, I talked to Cowboys fan. Trust me. There's some wild ones out there. Any thoughts on those guys? Because we have talked about them before, but I think any of those guys in either of those rounds, Morgan at 1, Edgerrin Cooper at 2, or Jalen Wright in the 3rd, I wouldn't be upset. There's a couple other running backs that I might want more than Jalen Wright, but I still wouldn't be upset with Jalen Wright. So, and actually,
I think
Sorry, AJ. They actually say here some targeting Florida State's Trey Benson in the second round, which isn't the worst idea in the world. Something that we've also talked about. Sorry, I just wanted to get that on there too.
Yeah, and Jalen, right? There's just something about him. I can't remember what it is, but that he's, a tier down. Otherwise, he could be up there with that top tier of running backs that are slated to go. I think he's just below that first tier.
Yeah,
he's just boosting it a little bit lower.
He's just boosted a bit lower. And again, if we get a running back in the third and it's any of these dudes we talked about, I think the main ones we've really talked about have been Trey Benson, Jalen Wright, Jonathan Brooks, Braylon Allen. But then there's also Bucky Irvin, who we haven't talked much about. There's also Blake Corum, who we haven't talked much about. But that's six. That's six running backs. If we get any of those six in the third round, or possibly even one of them in the fourth, and then AJ's even has his Isaiah Davis crush, and there's still guys like Ray. I think it was Ray Davis. There's a lot of good running backs.
Yeah.
But it's just some food for thought going into today's mock draft, version 6 of the Cowboys Can Fan mock draft. We're going to do things a little bit differently today.
Like, if this isn't a good draft, are you going to post our last week's Sunday service as mock 6?
The only reason I didn't post last Sunday service as mock draft is because it was very similar to the one after, and I only have enough time to do one, to edit one, and Cowboys Chris was a guest, so it just seemed like a no-brainer to get our guest involved on this week's one.
I agree.
But having a backlog of drafts isn't a bad thing either, because then when the teams in 2 years have these all-star pros and we drafted 2 or 3 of them in one draft, we're going to look like goddamn in Dune, the chick that sees the future. We're going to look like the Dune future seer.
Have you seen Dune 2?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, so good.
I did fall asleep because I went and saw it late, but it was good.
Or that pool that we're doing all those finishers to Adam's sons in.
The kids.
Are we going to be minority reporting?
Precogging?
Laying on our back? Yeah.
That would be a funny video. Precogging draft picks.
Oh, we should do that.
We
got a pool. We got a pool in the garage.
Yeah, you just need like a small pool, and it could be like 2018, and we're in there. It's like flashback 20. And we're just saying all the good players. The Cowboys should draft this guy.
Yeah, that's funny. That's a good short. We should do that.
That would be good. Okay, so sorry.
Travis,
hit some chat. Hit some chat.
Okay, so here I'll do a couple. So no face thriller says, "Hear me out." Tackle number tackle number 7 or DT first or second.
Okay, sorry. Reread that. I didn't understand what you said.
Tackle number 7 or defensive tackle 1/2, which I'm singing first or second round.
What's the number 7 mean?
I don't know. Tackle number 7 might be
number 7 ranked tackle.
Yeah.
Or is he talking about Mumbo number?
Oh, I see what he's saying. Okay, he's right. He's saying defensive. He's saying the 7th ranked defensive tackle or defensive tackle that's the first or second.
Yep.
Ranked. Oh yeah, you go for position. That's a BPA pick for sure. Which we're BPA sluts.
Yep, we are.
We've always been known to be BPA sluts. So I do agree. If you can get at 24 or even at 31, if you can get the top, the second best player at that position in the draft, it is a no-brainer.
Marshawn Lloyd is another one that No Face Thriller is saying. I don't know who that is, so I'm going to write that down. Marshawn Lloyd.
I think that's the
and then Travis O'Shea is saying, we going QB first round ? Or do a fun one and see if we can move up. Bot G says QB in 4th or 5th, and then he goes, yes, good idea, Travis, trade up. So do we want to make a rule that we have to trade up in the first round?
Okay, we're gonna flip a coin. Heads is trade up, tails is trade back. That's what we're gonna do.
Why don't you just bring your coin out, your yes or no coin?
Well, that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, okay. And then I guess that Marshawn Lloyd's from USC.
Yeah, he is the running back.
The running back, y'all.
He's the running back. Okay, so
what do we want? Saying heads.
Heads is what though?
Heads is trade up.
Hey, heads is trade up, so we'll give it. Heads is trade up. Well, I don't have heads. I have yes or no.
Okay, so are we going to trade up? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes is trade up. No is trade down. That makes it easy. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes is trade up. Oh, you see that? I couldn't even see that. I couldn't even see that. I'm in the pool right now in the fucking.
Peacocking it?
We're trading up, bitches.
We're trading up.
We're trading up.
We're trading on up.
Give me that.
In the draft.
Just trading up, baby. Can't see it.
Trading up.
Can we get it in yours?
Let's see if we can boosh it over here.
Yes.
Okay, we're trading up.
Okay, so
This coin
who's
cost
our
me $20.
potential-
Well, that's what we're gonna
we
have to.
put
We're gonna have to fucking figure that out. Who do we want to trade up for?
yeah. No. I mean, well, then we're gonna
What
have to run the
spots?
first round. We're gonna have to
Slow.
run the first round slower,
Yeah.
and then who are the guys? Are we gonna combo some picks, or are we gonna throw Trey Lance out there and see if someone will take him?
I don't think we do the Trey Lance one because I think it's easy trade bait to get us better picks than we'll actually get. I don't think the Cowboys are going to trade Trey Lance, and it seems like it almost seems like we figured out a glitch a little bit because I've used that glitch a lot of times while I'm sitting on my shitter trading to get good picks.
Yep.
Guys, hear me out. If you trade Trey Lance, you can get the world in the
You
draft.
can get the world.
And imagine now we're gonna clip that, and then we're gonna do the precog of you in a tub talking about they should trade Trey Lance for
And he's
first
gonna-
round
and he's going
pick,
to get traded.
and they're gonna do that, and they're gonna get a fucking dime.
Well, I got a bigger question for you guys. What is a position that is worth trading up for?
Mm.
I defer
I
to
think
AJ.
if the tackles start going, then
Yeah.
that would be a good one to trade up for. But it would have to be like after the first tackle, because if we don't get the first tackle, which I think he goes quite early.
Yeah, it'll be with Alt. Joe Alt will be the first tackle off the board, and he'll be gone in the first 8 picks.
Right, and so
A guy that I think
I
if
don't
we're
know.
trading for tackle, Troy Fatanu. He's a guy that you could trade up into, I'd say, the 15 range and still get.
okay.
And he's got a lot of he's very flexible on the line. Like we can do a little bit more with him. But as far as skill positions, we're not trading up for a wide receiver. We talked about that being a bad idea.
Bocce saying left tackle.
Yeah, so I think tackle.
Travis O'Shea saying QB. Ha 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 ha.
Well, and again, if we trade up to 15, and we talked about this already, or 10, we said this earlier on the show. The Kansas City Chiefs, after 2 seasons in a row that they made the postseason, they still traded up to 10 and took Patrick Mahomes. So if there's a guy that you think's worth trading up to at 10, which could be JJ McCarthy
or Bo Nix.
Bo Nix, I think we get in the second round. Like I think you could trade up in the second to get him.
Penix.
Like there's dudes that you could trade up for. So
Murph, are you trying to get in this draft show right now?
QB, I think in my mind, tackle and QB are probably 2 of the positions that
Okay.
I would pull a trigger on drafting up. Otherwise, I would just sit tight. But we have to trade up.
Or
so.
do we try to replicate that draft that we just saw? So trade up to 19 to get Brian Thomas.
Well, Brian Thomas will be there. And okay, another thing before we get into the draft, what do we want to do? So I'm gonna hop over to the sliders. What do we want to do for sliders?
No, not White Castle sliders either. We're talking about draft sliders.
Draft sliders. So you got here. I'll boosh in.
Push it in a bit. I'm
Push
gonna
it
go to the
there.
hey, because I don't give a fuck about settings. You guys deal with it. I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Oh shit! I'm trying to zoom in here. Okay, there we go.
So the only one that I would slide there is just the public versus PFF.
Where do you want to go?
Public
Half?
is- I like to go 50%.
Yeah, I think 50 is
it
fair.
gives it a little bit more randomness, but we still kind of stick to some sort of like you don't end up with like a 6th or a 7th rounder for your 24th pick or 6th
Exactly.
or 7th, sorry, ranked in your 24th.
And then what do you?
pick.
I think speed. I think we can still do the second. I think we can do the second speed.
Yeah.
Or because we're
Second
trying to
speed.
trade up, you think second speed's fine, or do we want to slow it right down? Should we
Well, you
slow
can
it right
adjust on
down?
the fly.
You can
You
speed
can always
up.
pause it.
You can. Okay, yeah, we can pause. Okay, I like that. Well, we'll keep it to that slow speed. But AJ, while Ad's taking a leak, I don't like trading up. I would have rather had the trade back option, to be honest. I would have rather traded back and picked up because unless we're just gonna deal with the one glitch that we can do is if we want to deal with future draft picks, like if we trade next year's draft picks, possibly that's a way that we can keep our third. I don't want to trade away a third or a second of this year's draft.
No, agreed.
So
But
we might have to.
We might have to. That we got to go with the coin flip. And look, this is a just a fun way to do the draft to have us look at some different players.
I'm not even
flip
going to
the
do time
coin.
limit. I'm not even going to do time limit today. We're going timeless.
we
We're
got-
going timeless.
We got time. We got time.
So once Ad's back, we will kick into this draft. We are doing 7 rounds. Speed, not slow, but kind of slow. Public versus PFF board is at about 50-50. Care for positional value, they have it so it's pretty much a team is doing that. Draft for needs, they have it more so, and randomness less. So I think those are good settings.
Yeah, and the reason that we're trading up is because we flipped that coin. The
Right.
coin said we needed to trade up, and so that's why that stipulation is part of the draft.
Right.
Yeah.
And we don't know where yet.
And just a reminder that anybody out there,
Yeah, throw that up there.
Philly sucks.
Philly sucks.
Okay.
Philly does suck.
Philly sucks. Bocce
Balls.
Get
also,
him out of here.
Balls.
Bocce also says that this is just for fun. In the real draft, I hope we trade back.
Oh, yeah, that's the great part. This is
Yeah.
for fun, and it's going to get us to know more people. So let's enter this draft, fellas. You ready for it? Let's get it.
Yep, let's do it.
Okay, I'm starting draft. So first pick, Caleb Williams, Drake May. Tell me if you want me to pause. Marvin Harrison, Joe
Yeah.
Alt. So first tackles off, Roma Dunze, Dallas Turner. Second tackles
Pause.
off the board.
Pause.
So 2 tackles are off the board.
Okay.
This is kind of the range that I was thinking. So let's go back and look at the players that have been taken. You have the 3 quarterbacks right off the board with Caleb Williams, Drake May, and Jaden Daniels. Then you have Marvin Harrison Jr., probably the best positional player in the draft. Then the first tackle, Joe Alt. A couple more wide receivers. Then the first defensive player in Dallas Turner. Second tackle in Talise Fuaga. Then you have Terrion Arnold and Brock Bowers, two guys that we wouldn't have ever took. So, yeah,
We're at number 12.
we're at 12 with the Broncos. So they
It-
would be willing to trade. And it's actually, we paused it, and the Broncos are willing to trade. So the teams that are willing, all teams are willing to trade right now.
No, I think because we're asking to trade, they are all available.
Oh, they're all, and it's
Yeah.
it's going to be tricky, isn't it? It's
Well,
going
why
to
don't
be
we try?
tricky.
Mhm.
Do we want to boost it up here or what?
Well, who are you guys thinking? We got to pick who we want to trade with. So
Well,
the
I'm looking at PFF's big board,
yep.
and this is the next 3 tackles is 14 Troy Fatanu.
Yep.
Then 18 is Olumuyiwa Fashanu. So Fatanu or Fashanu, and he's 18. And then 19 is JC Latham. So there's 3 tackles before we start to get to Amarius Mims, Graham Barton, Tyler Guyton, guys who we probably would have a chance with at
And then
24.
so we have the quarterbacks that are off the board right now are Caleb Williams, Drake May, and Jaden Daniels, because our 2 positions that we said we would trade up for are tackle and quarterback. And actually, the player that I said I would trade up for was Troy Fatanu, who is on the board and is on AJ's big board for tackles going next.
Do you think you can let it go 2 more picks before we take Fatanu?
I mean, we could try to boost it.
Because if you look at it, I don't think he's going to go until I think we have 2 more picks until he's going to go.
Ad's looking, yeah. Well, O-line, Raiders need O-line. Okay, let's try it. You guys good trying 2 more picks?
Let's see what it would require for this 12.
Okay, for us to get up to, yeah, okay, 12. We swap 12 and 24.
Just dip your wiener in a little bit. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, let me
here.
boost it up here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we give
There
them
we go.
our 24 for their 12th,
And
but
that's
we're
it.
also
And
going.
that's it.
If we give our second, they're gonna probably accept it. That just seems
What
like
about next year?
yeah. Let's try next year's. Not as likely, but we could give it a go. We got 5 chances. Let's just try to spoosh them out of here. Offer trade. I'm not gonna do what AJ did and hit resume trade.
Yeah.
So they didn't like
Jesus.
it. They didn't like last year's. So let's
So give him a later round pick,
we give them 87 this year. They're not doing it. So next year's and
and then give him like 216. Give him 216.
40%. They're
Nah.
not going to bite. We could trade.
They might take it, but it's the first and the second, or I think we let it ride for another one and try with the next.
Say
on-
less.
on the 13th.
Okay, let's try 2 more players here. Tell me when to pause.
Pause.
Oh, Fatanu's
there-
gone.
Fatano's gone. Fuck. The fucking
knew it.
Raiders took him.
Damn it.
Damn it.
You even said that.
I knew the Raiders were going to have a chance. I mean, that's the guy. If we're trading up into that range, that's the dude that I'm
Yeah.
trading up for, Fatano. So now we have to make a trade up, guys. You got the Saints who Let's just see what we can do here. Can you guys see that, or do you
Try
need me
the
to
same
bullshit
thing.
it a little bit here?
Let's try the same combo, 24 and second.
Oh, they'll for sure.
Next year.
Oh yeah, they'll take that. Let's try a third. Let's try.
Hang on. Maybe they give us one of their late rounders.
Okay, so what you're thinking second, and then, oh yeah, we could try that.
And just for context, we're not putting in any type of player for these trades.
No,
It has to just be draft.
Yeah,
trades.
just draft. So we're trying to select their 14th and their 170, and we give them our first, which they go back 10, and next year's second round.
Come on.
But we also get their compensatory pick. Should we give that a go?
Yeah, go for it.
65% chance. Ooh,
Fuck.
Okay, let's try 175. It's only 5 spots different. Fucking bitches, man.
Oh man.
Give them 244.
Yeah. And see if they'll
That
try it. Try it. We got 3 more attempts.
we got it.
We got it.
Okay.
I don't hate
nice.
that.
All right.
I don't hate that,
Nope.
guys.
Nope.
Okay.
So here's Newton, the guy that the Cowboys traded up for. He's sitting there at 8. But what are we thinking? So we got the world to play with right now, fellas.
Eric Castillo says BPA unless it's CB or TE.
So Jerzon Newton's that guy then.
And then, Travis O'Shea saying Mitchell. So Quinyon Mitchell.
I just don't like picking I don't like picking a corner right now.
I mean, if we're going to pick a corner, we're going to fucking take Cooper DeJean.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The white unicorn?
Yeah, he's right. He's right there, the white unicorn.
Guys.
Hey, hear me out.
Yeah, I'll listen.
Hey, yeah.
Hear me out. What if we just look at who's trade? See how far back those trades are, because I think Byron Murphy is a better body than Jerzon Newton.
So you mean like us trading back now?
Yeah.
I mean, we
did our
technically
trade.
we technically traded up.
Traded up. Now we could trade back and get a couple more picks.
Okay, so the Jaguars at 17, the Rams at 19. Like, we got the world to play with here. I think 19 would be a nice one. Move back 5.
We'll see what the 17
entails.
Yeah. And then
I mean, we could try it.
Ranks.
We can try that right
Try
there.
It. We got 5. Oh, we got 1 attempt remaining. Oh my god.
Oh shit. Okay, let's go.
I didn't know that it
I didn't know it. I didn't either. We might get this. Go to 19 and get another second.
Okay, but throw in a 7th just to make it happen. Like next year 7th. Something like that.
Like ours?
Yeah.
No. We're trying. We're trying it. We're getting this. That you got to think they're offering.
Yeah.
They're offering. They're gonna accept this. They're gonna accept this. Told you. I fucking told you.
Okay.
Yes.
Go.
Just call me Will McClay. Look at those titties up there. Okay, let's get it.
Hey, that's a svelte looking chest, torso there.
He's torsoing it up.
Torsoing it up. Get all that, son. Okay, fellas.
There he is. We got Byron Murphy. Let's do it. Let's lock him up.
I like it. I like Byron Murphy. He was an absolute stud at the combine. He's a Texas boy. He's a position of need. Also, Latu, monster, but there is some injury concerns right now.
Anthazar Kevin Costner says Bocce.
Yeah, I'll take that as a goddamn compliment.
And
any day of the week.
Neither of them have seen draft day yet.
Well,
so
yet.
No.
Yet.
So they'll love it once they see it.
Okay, guys.
Kevin Costner.
I think Byron Murphy's a safe pick here.
Yeah, pick him.
Welcome to the team.
Bring him on. Bring him onto the squad.
Welcome
Byron
to the
Murphy.
team. Okay, I'm going to pause. We're going to regroup.
We're going to regoop.
I got to take a leak.
That's Ant's regooping.
I'm going to go regoop. I'm also going to go see if you have a couple changs.
There's some Olays up there. But I don't have enough mixers here for you.
So what was he what is Byron Murphy? Is
he's a defensive interior
tackle?
Yeah, defensive interior.
Okay. So he's on, if we look at the NFL draftbuzz.com's rankings, he is about so Newton was ranked 89.5 on his rating, and Byron Murphy's ranked 88.8. So only 0.7
I like
rating score back. So
I like that. Travis O'Shea saying
And he's-
one tech and zero tech. So he can play in either schemes, I think.
Oh, good. Well, look, I Zimmer's gonna take what he has and make something out of it. That's his motto. I'm
Zimmy?
just gonna look at Byron Murphy's fundamentals here, his measurements.
Well, I was gonna bring him up, but the problem is it's on that
That screen. That's okay. I'm just looking at his measurements here on NFL Draft Plus. So the offensive rating he played against was ranked 82%. So he was out there playing good teams. Like on average, they were ranked 82%. That's a really good indication of the talent he played against. It's not necessarily the best tackler, only 64%, but his pass rush is 100% and his run defense is 94%. So I like that combination. And right away, we've got some competition there for Mozzie Smith, who we do hope steps up and has a improved season, absolutely. But look, there's if you have two guys vying for that position, they're going to make them play harder, faster, stronger. I like that.
Guys, I think we got
And
a
we
dog.
picked up a pick.
I think we got a dog
Yeah.
there. And we picked up a pick.
and we boosted that pick.
Look at our picks now. Look at our picks now.
How do I do that?
Like we got 52, 56,
Yep.
87, 174,
Ooh,
175.
that's
Fuck.
nice. That's
We really-
juiced up.
Boys, we're draft rich right now.
So I think we just
We're
play.
draft rich right
I
now.
think
baby.
I think we just play this out to our next two picks. To be honest.
Yeah, let's speed it up. Let's go. Let's get that speed up. Unless this is going fast enough, but
Oh, you can do
won't
it
have
up
to worry about
here.
correcting. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, doggy.
Yeah, let's do that.
For some reason though, you can't turbo it if you don't start with.
Oh,
turbo.
that's okay.
I'm about to
another-
make this one's for Bot G. I'm about to have some Terramana tequila for my next drink here.
Ooh.
Yeah, he is. Okay, so this is our first.
Oh, well,
You got boosted.
depends.
So here we go. Here we go. So we have our first of our two round 2 picks. And this is kind of a freebie, guys. And there's a lot of names here. You got Ricky Purcell, Jatavion Sanders, tight end, wide receiver, and then Jermaine Burton. Crack me if you got him. Who I was actually just watching a video on today before I came over here. I don't mind the Jermaine Burton pick, to be honest. Then you got Jonah Ellis, edge from Utah. Rook, Horo. Jonathan Brooks, the halfback out of Texas. Kieran Amagaji, the tackle out of Yale, and Marshawn Nealon, the edge out of Western Michigan. What do we want? What do we see?
I think we go Purcell here, and then we take Brooks at 56. We go wide receiver halfback.
But we just talked about how we thought Brooks was like a reach kind of.
You think so at 56?
I think we get our starting running back at 87, to be honest.
Okay. So we'll take Allen at 87, you think?
We'll have to see how the board plays out, to be fair. If I'm looking at these guys right now,
I like Burton over Purcell.
same.
Pearsall.
Okay.
But Pearsall is an interesting pick. Whoever gets him, I'm going to be watching for that kid because I like the way that he goes in hard for the ball when he's making a catch. He might not wow you with anything else, but on his film, he made a lot of like really, really good contested catches. And look, it's film, so it's showing all their highlights, right? It's the highlights of the season. So maybe those were all of his good catches, but I think Burton, in terms of like just his body and his skill set, he's right in there. And he's a senior, so I mean, they don't have his age here, but I'm sure that that's the only thing maybe too, is he's a little bit older.
What do you guys think about this? Burton brings a fiery approach to the position as long as his size doesn't cause him to be pushed around. He has elite quickness to win against press and off coverage at the next level as a flanker or slot. And then Burton played 2 seasons at Georgia before transferring to Alabama, where he was a 2-year starter in 2022. He's a highly competitive wide receiver. He's not afraid of any matchup and will talk trash consistently. His quickness can be devastating, especially when paired with his ability to use a variety of releases. His long speed is smooth, but he appears to lack a rare final gear. However, he is still successful as a vertical receiver due to how strong he is at the catch
I like
point.
that.
His change of direction, speed, and flexibility allow him to run any route. If he can keep his cool, he can be an impact slot or flanker receiver in the NFL. I like what we're seeing, to be honest. There.
And
Travis
Go
Jose
ahead,
says
Ed.
Purcell is more of the inside playing. The why Burton is very athletic and underrated. So Burton
what
seems
I
like
like what I like about Burton is he might not be the tallest, but he's got a pretty good vertical, 38.5
Yep.
inches. That's in that 84th percentile. And he's also got a really good broad jump. That means he's got a lot of power in those hips. So once he gets the ball, like he's 98th percentile with his broad jump for this class. So he could, or for this position group, sorry. So he could be a powerful runner out there with the ball in his hands.
do it. Ant's doing
I'm
it.
draft buzzing it, but it goes to draft. It always goes to that other draft.
We haven't taken him yet. We haven't taken him yet.
This site.
No.
NFL draft bubs. Whoops.
Jeez, we should just we should bookmark it.
Okay.
Jermaine Burton. Let's see what he looks like.
Okay, kind of a little bit albino.
He looks like if Machine Gun Kelly played football.
And he needs to fix that. He needs to fix that posture.
Yeah,
He's playing too
yeah,
much.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
posture
Too much
check.
cod.
Posture check, boys. Get your back straight. That's a
Get
posture
your
check.
chest out.
Well, we got to check out
It looks like-
Persall now too.
It looks like Alabama was trying to rush people through photos, and he was just sitting down. So like, okay, next.
You
next-
just transferred
next-
here. Sit down and shut up.
Sit down and shut up. I got to check out Persall.
Ricky Purcell. Bocce says
Yeah, 'cause
normally.
I also
Sorry, go ahead.
with Burton, I also don't like how his it looks like his shirt was too big. Like he put on an extra large shirt there. It wasn't tight. And I
Ricky's
like
too
a nice tight suit.
Ricky's too fuckboy looking to me. Like, I don't. Ricky, we're going Burton purely on looks. Like Ricky Purcell looks like, or Persall. I just don't know. Let's see their 40s though. I'm interested in their 40 times. So we got 441. So white boy can move.
He has that fucking AJ tat across his chest.
Let's see what our guy Burton does. 445. Ooh. So Ricky's a little bit quicker.
But look at that 10-yard speed between the two. Jermaine has him beat quite handily, I believe. 153.
That's why we got AJ here.
Yeah.
We're going Burton, guys.
We're Burton boys.
Yeah.
We're Burton boys. Jermaine Burton, welcome to the team. Don't forget, we got a pick in 4 picks. So get ready for that. We're not out of the woods yet, fellas.
So you mean we're gonna take Purcell
know.
in 4 picks?
Hey, man, that's your best way of making sure. He's gone.
He's gone. But Brooksy's still there.
He went 1 pick before us to Miami.
Ooh.
Miami. Fuck boy, Ricky Purcell will do
Yeah, he looks. He's
great.
gonna. Fuckboy Ricky Purcell is gonna do great in Miami.
If you told me
I like
there was
that.
a player that was going to Miami and looked like
I'd
he
be
should
like,
be
oh,
in
yeah,
Miami, oh yeah,
it's for sure
And his
Ricky
name's
Purcell.
Ricky, Ricky.
Ricky P, baby.
Ricky P. All right, fellas, we are up on our original 56 pick, the Dallas Cowboys.
Go, Ricky.
And he stays in Florida.
Go, Ricky. We love you, Ricky. Go, Ricky.
Tricky Ricky.
So, dudes, we
Are trading back or what?
well, we got to start looking here for some needs. So we took at 1. Who did we take at 1 again?
Okay,
We
so
took Byron Murphy the second.
Right. So we went
PI, and then
DT.
we took
So we went DT and wide receiver. I'm thinking O-line. I'm honestly thinking
Yeah.
O-line is or center or guard even.
okay, bring it up. Let's see what we got.
So I'm gonna go.
Bocce's yelling Brooks, but we don't want Brooks.
So here's your dudes here. Well, I think Brooks got taken already.
No, he's there. He's sitting right there.
Running back Brooks?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because we're at 56. That makes sense. Christian Haynes, a guard that we've talked about before on the show, never taken, but is an absolute dog. Had a great overall grade last year of 80.2. His first look, he's 6'2", which isn't the biggest, but you don't have to be tall playing guard. He's also 313, so he's got a little junk in the trunk, which is nice.
Got a little beef.
And he showed in his tape at the Senior Bowl that he has starting potential measurables and traits at guard in the NFL. His best work comes on the move, which would bode well for a zone blocking scheme and as a puller for man gap schemes. So
The question here is, do you want to keep Tyler Smith at guard, or do you want to shift him out to tackle and take the guard? Because we do have that Kieran, geez, how do you say that?
Amagaji.
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 Travis was saying Shane Fisher. So take a look at Blake Fisher.
which the cow in that last thing that we looked at, he was taken, but he looks like he could possibly be available
At 87.
at 87. Good size, 6'6", 312, really good size. And Fisher has the power to play at the pro level, but needs to get quicker to his landmarks. He also needs to be more patient and balanced in his strikes to avoid being susceptible to NFL level speed rushers. At an ideal age, he has starter potential. So my one thing, this is like AJ brought up, if we take Christian Haynes, we could just then kick out. This is the Dallas Cowboys saying Tyler Smith is our future left tackle. And that's what that would prove if we took Christian Haynes right now.
Wait, AJ, what do you want to do?
Oh man, I like Haynes.
Do it.
I don't know. Yeah, bring him up on the old.
Do it.
And taking a guy named Christian on Easter Sunday?
Ooh, that's good.
That's just good vibes right there. Let's see what he looks like. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He looks
like he's gonna fuck you up.
He looks like a guy that I want on my football team. Hundo P.
Yeah, he is bouncing. He is bouncing at that door of the club.
He's got a good 40 for that size. He's not great size, but he's a guard. So don't forget, like, guard's not height doesn't matter. Huge as a guard. Ah man, I like him. I like the way he looks. Plus, we've never taken him. That's a good. What are you guys thinking?
Yep.
It's between these three in my mind.
Kieran Amagaji.
Amagaji?
You never brought him up. He's from Yale, so
I'm not taking a fucking dork.
No,
I ain't taking no dork.
What does he look like though? Let's strap
All
us
right,
him.
Kieran, let's get him.
Let's see what Kieran looks like.
Let's get Kieran. Let's get him.
While we're pulling him up though, I think the safer pick is a guard because it's harder because left tackle is such an important position. So
well, you want to know how I know we're not taking this guy, AJ?
No picture.
He doesn't even have a fucking picture.
He's
what the hell is this? What's he afraid of?
He's off the charts.
But AJ's
did it even load? Did his stats load?
Everything else did.
Okay. Because I was having that problem with it, and
he looks like he'd fuck you up though.
It's a good look. Kind of looks like he's wearing a Dallas Cowboys shirt there. Kind of.
A scouting report for him here too. 6'5", 323 hands.
I like his size.
It's good size. But you know what? I like what AJ's selling point was the best of anything. It's easier to find a guy at guard in this spot that's going to be helpful on the team than tackle. It's going to be easier for a guy at 56th, where we're picking, for a guard to go between Tyler Smith and Brock Hoffman at this point, that's our center, to be able to have a successful tenure than being out on an island by himself at left tackle.
Do it. You've already made your choice.
We welcome Christian Haynes to the team.
Bring him on. Bring him onto the squad.
Welcome to the team, Christian Haynes. So I'm going to pause this because it's going speedy. We're going at 87 next. I want to know before we even see the guys.
Trading up again?
No, I don't want to trade up. I just want to pick the position that we're going to take no matter what.
Halfback.
I think halfback. I think running back's got to be the spot. I think running back has to be the spot.
Yeah.
I don't care who's there. We have to pick a running back.
BPA halfback?
I think we BPA halfback in my mind.
Yep.
I think we just
Beat me off halfback.
Beat me off halfback. Let's do it. Let's see if
BMO?
any get taken. Jalen Wright gone. Junior Colson just taken. So we lost Jalen Wright, Tavondre Sweat, Blake Fisher, Blake Corum gone. Bucky Irving gone.
Oh yeah, we're fucked.
Well, we got Trey Benson. That makes it easy for us.
That's easy.
That makes it easy. That's an easy pick.
It's an easy pick. That's
Easy
a gimme pick.
And I don't think Trey Benson's getting picked after Blake Corum or Jalen Wright. You can stamp this right now.
But Benson's going before them, you're saying.
I think Benson is 100% getting drafted before Blake Corum or
you're right. We're able to crack him if you got him. We're able to get Benson at this. How are those ones, anyways?
I don't even want to sip.
You haven't tried it yet?
No, that's the first one. Have a little sip test. I brought one for you, just in case you like it.
Those are good.
Oh, I brought you one.
I have some here.
It's also yours. I got it out of your fridge.
This is what no.
Hey, bro, I got you this.
No, this
out of your fridge.
These what's his name brought them over for the show, and we've never drank them.
Taylor
brought them over for the show, and AJ would not drink them.
I think they have lots of sugar in them.
And then I was like, oh yeah, I won't drink them either. Even though I liked Olays, and I was like chili mango. I don't know if I like that.
Chili mango is a weird.
It's
combo.
actually pretty good.
Okay, so we're taking Trey Benson. We don't even need to go into much of that. We know the guy he is and what he can do for a team. Trey Benson, welcome to the team. So this is now, we are a hell of a lot of picks away from our next one. We're 83 picks gone.
Are we trading up again?
But
Pause?
no, I was just gonna. We can let it run, but
let it run.
we get back-to-back picks, which I really like.
Hopefully
AJ
both-
loves those fucking greasy three.
Hopefully that 52 and that 56 are both starters. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's
Not
why
ho-
trading back's massive.
Not hopefully, they have to be.
I also like how we kind of beat the system where we said we were going to trade up, and we did trade up with our first trade.
We did
but
trade
then
up, and then we
traded back, and then trade.
Sorry, what? When we traded back, what pick did we take?
we gained a 56th.
We gained a 56, but when we traded back, we went. Oh, we still were traded up from our
Original spot, yeah.
So
we still
played within the rules.
We Jerry Jones'd it.
Yeah, we Kevin Costner'd it.
We Kevin Costner.
Don't be mad
did.
at us. Oh, hey, Joe Milton the third. That's a QB that we should probably look at. I don't think he's going to be there at 164. Joe Milton is adds this year DTR. Oh yeah,
Joe Milton is adds DTR.
Totally
this year.
is.
And I don't hate that Joe Milton adds DTR.
But that's the first time that I got all hot and horny over fucking Joel Milton for you guys.
Joe Milton the third is adds. That's adds guy.
Hey, that's my vote.
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't
I'm
hate
not mad
it.
at that.
I don't hate it.
I think
Should
why
we
not?
just take it? This is
because we have. We have
back-to-back picks.
Exactly.
We have 174.
Exactly. That's
a freebie.
I should preface that is a main reason why I'm like take them, because we have another pick right away.
Because we have the other pick too. I'm going to float this out to you guys. I think we take center Drake Nugent right after
from Michigan.
Yeah, I think we just take. I think we take the center right after. Sure, he might not start, but at least he's another body.
Yep, I agree.
I actually would like to see. So we'll take Milton first. Welcome to the team, Joe Milton the third.
Oh, that we got a Kibbs.
Joe Milton on the team, and then I just
Where's
want
my high five?
Oh, sorry.
There we go.
Get a little hand holding in there.
There you go.
I wanted to look at Drake Nugent to see if he plays any other positions. No, just pure center. That's all he's ever played. That's that's more of a reason for us to take him right now. We didn't take our JPJ. We took an offensive lineman. We took we took a guard in Christian Haynes.
Well,
let's revamp it.
Benson's the only one that we've taken in previous drafts. I don't think we've taken anyone else that
Who?
we've drafted. Benson's the only one that we've drafted before.
And for running backs?
For running backs.
No, we've taken Jalen Wright. We've taken Jonathan Brooks.
No, I'm saying in this draft.
Oh, yeah. No.
Out of players that we've drafted so far today.
But we're looking at a center right now.
No, I know. I'm saying like every single other person that we've drafted has been like fresh players.
Oh, yes. Let's take a look at our guy Nugent, though, on Draft Buzz, because, we like to see who we're drafting.
We got to see what Nuge is about.
And he's a Michigan Wolverine. Oh,
okay,
yeah.
He totally looks like a center.
He looks like a serial rapist.
He is a thick boy.
Anyone that knows Drake Nugent, I don't mean that meanly. It's just it looks like his profile right now.
I mean, he looks like an insurance guy. I want to go serial rapist. He looks like he sells you a fucking mean car insurance. Actually, he looks like if you bought a Honda Civic and then you go into like the business people and they try to sell you all the extended warranties. That's Drake Nugent. Hey, welcome to Drake Nugent and Honda. Actually, he would not sell Honda. He'd sell Chrysler.
Nugent's Jaguars?
Yeah. Nugee's Jaguars.
Well, let's take a look at some of his stats here. I'm seeing a lot of red, fellas, but he's got a fast shuttle. He's a top 91 percentile on his shuttle and his 3-cone. Yeah. Well, you want your offensive lineman to be running in short distances. I don't care if he's only in the 55 percentile of the 40. I'm not expecting him to run 40 yards downfield very often.
No, not at all.
So you look at
the shuttle and the 3-cone means that he's going to get left and right quickly too. so he can get that stunt block in, and then he can break off, move upfield, and lay someone down on their butt to open the doors for our newly acquired running back, T. Benson.
I like this pick, guys.
Bocce says get him for Cowboys, Chris.
And yeah, this one, shout out to Cowboys Chris, his Michigan Wolverine. Drake Nugent, welcome to the team.
And fun fact, they're grandson of Ted Nugent.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Is that legit? You said it with such conviction. I thought you were dead serious.
I should have went with it.
You should have went with it,
and that would have been secured Cowboys can fan lore.
Would have been, because I would have believed you.
Would have been, should have been, could have been.
But then I would have been like, Ad actually read up on a guy that we're drafting, and I would have known it was fake.
Nah.
Okay,
So
guys.
now we're looking at,
Bloodline.
I think we're looking at some guys. Who we want to add is people who are
Special
to help
teamers.
with special teams.
Bloodline or Bloodline?
I mean, look, Frank Gore Jr. could help with special teams. Just because he's a running back doesn't mean he can't run down. I got an NFL lore story for you. Terrell Davis, Hall of Fame running back, 6th-round pick for the Denver Broncos. Basically made a name for himself by in a preseason game, ran down the field and absolutely cleaned someone's clock. He didn't even have the lore of the Gore name. So, yeah, I think you could still take who's going to be the fastest and biggest, one of the biggest guys on the field, a running back. There's no reason that they can't get stuck out there to field kicks, field punts, and then work their way into a starting lineup. Frank Gore Jr., and I'm going to look at his size here, but I think that makes more sense as a 6th-round pick when you're looking at a 5'8", 195 guy over a 5'6". I mean, I thought I was expecting him to be bigger. He kind of ruined my argument.
You're talking about pedigree, so we know how long the longevity of Frank Gore. So having that pedigree coming to Frank Gore Jr. and whether or not he ends up developing into a 2nd-round running back behind Trey Benson in the 2026 season, I'm all for that.
See, I'm more a Jace McClellan guy here, 5'11", 212. If you're talking about fielding kicks,
I mean, we don't know. We don't know what his pedigree.
We don't know his pedigree, but I'm telling you, a guy running downfield at you to tackle you, that's 5'11", 212 pounds, is going to send a bigger message than a guy that's 5'8", 195.
What other picks do we have besides these halfbacks? We're talking about halfbacks here.
Oh yeah, and we haven't taken a linebacker either,
Yeah,
fellas.
I know. What do we got? Some LBs.
Let's check out the LBs here.
Let's check out those LBs.
There's our guy.
Curtis 50 Cent Jacobs is there. I feel like
he's always there. He's too early.
I mean,
to take him.
we could take him as our last pick. I'd be happy with that.
Him.
I don't think we should do that.
David White Jr., Andrew Coker.
Did we take a? We haven't taken a receiver.
Yeah, we.
Did we take a receiver?
Yeah, we did. We took Burton.
Pick.
We took
right.
You know what you should do? You should make a screen.
I
up there.
should.
I'm kidding.
See
I'm
who
kidding.
I know, but I should see who we. I should see who we take.
Well, this is the problem with PFF, and I'll make this complaint here too.
Do it.
Is PFF really hurts us by not allowing us to look at who we've drafted and then also scan who's still on the board. I know that they show who gets drafted, but I'd like to see like who's still remaining.
Well, I feel like it wouldn't be that big of a thing for them to do.
It's 2024. No. After you've picked it based on your needs, it should show
your need
your BPA based on
up here
the players that you've already selected.
Because we've taken a running back, we've taken a wide receiver, we've taken a center, we've taken a defensive interior. We haven't taken linebacker, cornerback, or tackle.
Okay, so tackle
Caden Wallace. I mean, look, we could add, but tackle we don't really need to bring on, and because of the changing of the kick rules, that's why I think we should look to make someone who can be on for special teams.
Let's check out David White Jr.'s size.
Yeah,
6'4", 200.
200.
Ooh,
from WCU, a school that looks like one of us made the logo.
Yeah.
Western Carolina Catmounts.
I mean, I feel like we just take him so that we have some sort of push toward, like, so that we know that when he's a star, we're like, well, yeah, we drafted him.
Yeah, we took David White Jr. Pedigree.
DWJ?
DWJ. Who is he pedigree with? We don't know.
My pick right now is between David White Jr. and Jace McClellan.
I don't think he's on Draft Buzz. Oh, wait, yeah.
I'll get him up.
Let's take a look at him.
Let's get it. Let's see his mug.
Part of me wants to take FGJ though.
David White Jr.
And when Frank Gore Jr. is fucking a dog on whatever team he goes, he'll be like, I told you guys we should have took him in our fucking 7th round mock draft, 7th round. Or
David-
version
I couldn't
6.
find him,
Yeah, I don't think he's up
but
there.
but just Google him because I think you're gonna like the image.
Oh
if you're
yes,
like me.
yeah.
Okay.
There's our guy.
Okay. I don't mind him.
I mean, the hair is gonna be when he takes his helmet off, it's gonna look
Oh, yeah.
really cool.
I don't think I've ever that's my guy right there.
Yep.
Number 7.
7.
We welcome him to
Get
the
him on
team,
the-
fellas.
I wonder what team he's going to be.
Get him on the team.
17. Welcome to the team.
Welcome to the team.
Number 17, David White Jr.
He was number 7, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he's not going to be 7 on the Cowboys. Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah. Fair.
So it'd be number 17, I'm thinking.
Yep. We just got to go linebacker here. We just got one of my biggest vying points has been linebacker. I just didn't even think about linebacker this whole time.
Okay, Trevin Wallace.
Is the fastest of the bunch.
Yep.
A lot of these guys have dropped down. Again, a selling point for us is size right now. So I know we've looked at these guys before, but let's just take a look again. 6'1", 230.
Not bad.
Don't hate it. It's a guy that can
Not
cover
bad, not
kicks.
good.
Guy that can cover kicks. Trevin Wallace. First look. 6'2", 241. And
Bit-
he's fast.
A bit bad, but he's faster.
And he's fast. He's got wheels. And we'll do Dallas Gant, a guy that we have drafted before on these CanFan mock drafts. Had a great 2023.
He's
6'3", 230.
He's improved the whole time. Dallas Gant is probably a better choice because he's improved every single year if you look at it.
I hate to say it, but we got to go just purely on luck here, fellas.
Yeah, okay.
That's what we
Hey,
do.
don't ever say hate to say it, and we're all in the agreement.
So I'm gonna go Dallas Gant first, just because I can remember his name. Looks, I don't know.
Looks like he'd help you out with his fucking math.
Looks like if your car broke down somewhere, he would definitely jump you. Like he would try, even though you know it's not your battery. You're like, dude.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like jump you, like attack you. I was
No,
man,
like
that's
he's
pretty
gonna
bad that you just said
he's gonna jump your car.
Yeah, he's gonna help you
This
out.
guy jump me. This guy jump me. He doesn't look scary.
6'2", 224. He's bigger than you for
You'd
sure.
be,
Well, you better bring a weapon because I'm asking for some jumper cables. You're gonna try to take me to the store. Let's see what happens.
I like the name Dallas Gant on Dallas Cowboys. Okay.
I don't hate
And
that.
you'd be waiting on the side of the road already, waiting for like BCAA to come in to help you, and he'd just pull over, park, and already be pulling
Just
out
roll
his
in?
jumper cable. Like, just not even ask. Like, it's time to jump this. Yeah.
I mean, they look like the Battle of the Dorks to me, to be honest.
Trevin Wallace looks like he was the valedictorian.
So
of his
Trevor
high school.
Wallace runs a 4.51, and let's see what our guy Dallas Gant runs. 4.58. So at this point, I think you got to go with the speed. It's not much, but it's still faster.
Speed and size.
And he's big body. He's big body.
Trevin Wallace or Dallas Gant?
Yep.
Okay, hang on. So what
I'm
about
hanging?
Did
Bring in
you
bring in William Wallace.
You didn't look at Darius though.
Because I didn't like his size.
Oh,
I didn't even like it. I didn't like his
so
size.
just give me Nathaniel Watson.
Okay, Nathaniel Watson. We'll get one more look.
Sounds like he's a fucking 1800s Civil War fucking reenactor guy. Nathaniel Watson.
Yeah, there he is. Let's see what you got there. I mean, that's a guy that I could get behind right there.
6'2", 233. Okay, what do we got here?
4.63, slower than the other two. Automatically out for me. He's out. He's slower than
Go
them.
with Wallace. We already know. We already know this one.
Welcome
body
to
and
the
that size.
team.
All right.
I
Hey,
like this
good.
draft,
We're
guys. I like this draft.
8 picks we ended up with.
I like this draft.
Baji says, wait, is he related to Kenny Gant, a.k.a. the ex-Dallas Cowboy?
He wasn't.
Ooh.
Well, you don't know that for sure.
I just said it.
Okay,
All
let's
right,
see what we got.
let's do a recap here for the audio listeners, because the visual guys the visual viewers can see this, but the audio listeners, they're like, okay, summarize this.
Well, we were busy. We were really.
Yeah, this was an active draft.
We were very busy in the first round. In the first round, first we kicked off. We traded up to 14, and we received round 5, 175. To get that, we gave up our 24, our round 7, or our 244 in round 7, and next year's round 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we gave up. All right,
to the New Orleans Saints.
to the Saints. We started
But
letting
we weren't done.
we weren't done yet. We got to 14. We didn't really like what we saw, so we traded back
We boosted back.
with the LA Rams. We traded the LA Rams, got pick 14. We took their 19, and we gained a second round pick.
Fucking train robbery.
So yes, we lost our round 2 next year, but we gained a round 2 this year
train robbery.
in a very deep draft.
Yep. Train robbery.
And with that first pick at 19,
With an A, you see it.
with an A, Byron
And you'll
Murphy,
hear it.
2 from Texas.
Byron Murphy the second.
I love this pick, fellas. I don't hate this pick at all.
Defensive interior.
Defensive
It's all
interior,
right.
absolute.
This is good. Yeah, he's a B, and this is good because Byron Murphy 1.0 was just not as
Yeah.
not as quick, not as physical. So we brought in the 2.0.
Is that first model? Is that Mach 1 model? We did not like it.
I wish they kind of gave us ranks on the trades we did, but whatever. We got an A on our very first pick.
Oh, fuck. We got an A. We got an A on our pick and our trade.
So then coming up to our first pick in the second round, we drafted Jermaine Burton out of Alabama, the wide receiver.
A minus.
A minus,
Still
baby.
better than a B.
I'll take A minus all day. And
Yep.
we're of the 3, I'd say of the 100 Cowboys fans that actually think wide receiver is a need.
Yep.
Like not many Cowboys fans think wide receiver is a need. I'm not hating a wide receiver at 24, or if we had a crazy trade like we did here and got one in
Yeah.
the second round.
It's a must when you're flush with round 2 picks.
We weren't, or flush with picks in the draft, which the Cowboys weren't. AJ, what do you think about Jermaine Burton at 52?
I love it. I think we kind of got a freebie here in round 2. I know we did give away, but just in terms of what we were expecting, we got to keep our true second round pick. So this made a lot of sense. And he just happened to be the guy. Look, it was him or Ricky. And we didn't like Ricky's look.
Fuckboy Ricky might have got us just a standard A.
Yeah.
Ricky, by the way, Ricky Purcell looked like if AI combined Adam and me together. Think about that.
Yeah, I don't want that guy on my team.
Wait till they fucking draft him.
Wait
And
till
then
they
all of a
draft
sudden-
him. All right, and then our real second round pick at 56, we took Christian Haynes, and PFF did not like this one.
Oh.
PFF handing us the ban or the grade of a C minus, and I don't agree with that. I do not agree with that
Get
C
outta here.
minus. I think this was a great pick. It's a guy that's going to start right away, and it's going to make sense as we see our next few picks.
It would be funny to go back and see what PFF would have rated the picks the Cowboys actually did for like a guy like Tyler Smith.
Oh, he would have been terrible pick.
You know what I mean? Like
He would have been like, yeah, 100%. He wouldn't have been great. Okay, so Christian Haynes, and then down to 87, where we picked up a fan favorite of the Cowboys Camp Fan crew and running back out of
Trey
Florida
Benson,
State,
A minus.
Trey Benson, A minus. It better be an A minus because I don't think he's going to be there at 87. I honestly think, and I've said this a few times on the show, he will be the first running back off the board.
Yeah, you have said that multiple times.
So at 87, that's huge.
Yeah, Ant's just making sure that that when it happens, he's gonna have an easy to find clip. Oh,
I told you.
Hey, man.
I told you.
Hey, man, it's all about. I'm playing 4D chess in this content game, son. I'm thinking about content I'm going to be making in May already. So yeah, it's a huge thing to have. And Trey Benson, he's a beast. So
He's thinking about May, September, October,
Oh, yeah.
November, December, when Trey Benson's fucking getting those TDs and he's not on the Cowboys. He wants to cut it back to
Oh,
this
yeah.
all day.
yeah.
100%.
All day, son.
100%. And then, okay, Cowboys can fan in round 5, pick 174, because the Cowboys did not have a 4th round pick because they traded it away to get a quarterback. Well, we used that 5th round this time to get Joe Milton,
The third
the 3rd, out of Tennessee, and a B+.
as a B plus.
And this was the first of our back-to-back picks, so that's why we went with Milton.
Yeah.
We had
Exactly.
the next pick too, so we're like, hey, let's bring in the QB. If Jerry's serious about moving on from Dak, we just want options,
Yep.
Yep.
and this could be our guy.
Could be an option.
Joe Milton sounds a lot better than fucking Trey Lance to me.
And like WayJ just said, we had the next pick at 175 in the 5th round, and we took our center, Drake Nugent, who's going to battle for a starting spot right off the hop, and got us a nice grade point of just solid A.
Pedigree pick, grandson of Ted Nugent.
Ted Nugent's kid, Drake Nugent, out of Michigan, the Wolverine himself. I like the pick.
Sell you insurance next year.
And again, guys,
DWJ with a fucking A mine.
We are stacking up to have one of our best drafts here per PFF grade wise.
Christian Haynes is fucking ruining it right now for us. Jeez.
David White Jr. out of Western Carolina doesn't even have a picture on NFL Draft Buzz. We liked his size. We liked his afro. We selected him at 216. Got us an A- for our efforts.
Yeah, that's a good one. Now, come on, let's finish strong.
Wide receiver, you know.
Oh, I think I saw a B.
Oh, B+.
That's okay.
Trevin Wallace.
Trevin Wallace, linebacker out of Kentucky. What do you think our final grade's going to be, fellas?
I think it's going to be a B+.
I'm thinking A-.
I think that C's fucked us a little bit.
AJ's doing some grade math.
No, I think B plus A minus is what it'll be. One of those two.
A
Oh,
minus, because I precogged.
Precog.
Hey man, I honestly, as far as our drafts, and it's great to see that as we're going on and getting further into our draft studying and our draft exercises, I like our drafts more and more. And I thought the same last year, and people actually hated our drafts more and more. But I look back at our drafts from last year at the end of us doing it, and the guys we were taking were all very good players. So just a little tire pump up for the Can Fan crew right there. Because, hey, man, we are putting in work. We are actively trying to pick the best players for the Dallas Cowboys. And hater love it. We got an A- for all you bitches.
Baji says, hope Will McClay's watching.
Will McClay, Trill McClay, you better be checking it out.
You better be watching.
All right. Well, we will be live again Wednesday night. We have 14 guests on Wednesday night. It's going to be a fire round. Each guest I'm kidding.
I was like, holy shit. I was like, what? We have 14 guests on?
No 14 guests. But hey, guys, great Sunday service. Happy Easter to everyone out there. AJ, I don't know if it's Sunday or Monday or Tuesday, wherever you are in the world, but we will be back on Wednesday night for the main event at a regular time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central, and 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Crack 'em if you got 'em, and happy Easter, you sons of guns.
And Bachi's saying go watch Draft Day.
Go watch Draft Day. And get some Easter eggs.